Webb.
And I'm Wendy Griffith. Vice President Joe Biden and Congressman Paul Ryan squared off for a very contentious vice presidential debate in Kentucky Thursday night.
Yeah, it made for one of the more entertaining and tense debates in some time. Our chief political correspondent David Brody was there and brings us tonight's top story.
The initial handshake was about as friendly as it got between Joe Biden and Paul Ryan. Out of the gate, the vice president became the aggressor, constantly laughing, smirking, and interrupting Paul Ryan.
That's a bunch of malarkey. This is a bunch of stuff. It's incredible.
At one point, Ryan had enough.
Mr. Vice President, I know you're under a lot of duress to make up for lost ground, but I think people will be better served if we don't keep interrupting each other.
The attack on the American embassy in Benghazi, Libya, took a prominent place. The Obama administration has been criticized for not originally classifying it as terrorism and ignoring State Department officials' advice for more security on the ground.
What were you first told about the attack? Why were people talking about protests? When people in the consulate first saw armed men attacking with guns, there were no protesters.
Because
why
that's
did that go on
exactly
for
what
weeks?
we were told by the intelligence community. The intelligence community told us that. As they learned more facts about exactly what happened, they changed their assessment.
And they wanted more security there.
Well, we weren't told they wanted more security again. We did not know they wanted more security again.
It took the president 2 weeks to acknowledge that this was a terrorist attack. This is becoming more troubling by the day.
Then things heated up as the economy took center stage. Biden, unlike President Obama a week ago, brought up the infamous video where Mitt Romney told donors at a fundraiser that 47% of the country see themselves as victims and dependent on government services.
These people are my mom and dad, the people I grew up with, my neighbors. They pay more effective tax than Governor Romney pays in his federal income tax.
Ryan jabbed back.
Romney's a good man. He cares about 100% of Americans in this country. And with respect to that quote, I think the vice president very well knows that sometimes the words don't come out of your mouth the right way.
On entitlements, Biden argued about the Republican plan to change programs like Medicare and Social Security.
We will not, though, be part of any voucher plan eliminating it. The voucher says, Mom, when you're 65, go out there, shop for the best insurance you can get. You're out of Medicare.
Ryan says that's not their plan and called it scare tactics.
Barack Obama, 4 years ago, running for president, said, if you don't have any fresh ideas, use stale tactics to scare voters.
At the end of the debate, the candidates were asked about their Catholic faith and to explain why they see the abortion issue differently.
It's not simply because of my Catholic faith. That's a factor, of course. But it's also because of reason and science.
Life begins at conception. That's the church's judgment. I accept it in my personal life. But I refuse to impose it on equally devout Christians and Muslims and Jews.
Vice presidential debates typically don't change the contours of a presidential race, but in an election this razor tight, any little edge matters. As for President Obama and Mitt Romney, their next debate comes in just a few short days up in Long Island, New York on Tuesday. David Brody, CBN News in Danville, Kentucky.
And joining us now to provide his take on last night's debate is Dr. Charles Dunn. He is the Distinguished Professor of Government at Regent University and author of the book, The Presidency in the 21st Century. A lot of talk about Joe Biden's bluster last night, his aggressiveness, the eye rolling, the chuckling, the smiles, the interruptions. Did it serve him well?
No. He overplayed his hand while Ryan played under control. And that became evident during the course of the hour and a half. Biden needed to have a big victory. He could have had a big victory. He had a lot of substance on his side, but his style trumped his substance. He was haughty and high-minded. He was derisive and demeaning in his commentary. I have followed presidential and vice presidential debates going back to Kennedy versus Nixon. I've never seen anything like this. I happen to know Joe Biden not well. He's really a pretty pleasant fellow to be around. And why he conducted himself like that is something of a mystery, other than this, that the Obama campaign is under great duress right now, and they needed a major victory from him last night to right the ship.
And so you don't think this is going to help their campaign?
No. What this does is cause people to have second thoughts about the Obama-Biden ticket. That if you have someone who conducts himself like that, that is a negative regarding, he wasn't an approachable person. Mm-hmm. Knowing him, he is an approachable person, but he didn't project that last night.
So what do you expect the president's advisors are telling him now about the next presidential debate?
I think we're going to see more of the same. And
more aggressiveness.
Yes. They tipped their hand right after the president lost that first debate. They got together and they decided, we're going after them. It no holds barred. I noticed that they began to call Romney a liar, and they've used other vitriolic language to attack the Romney-Ryan ticket. So right now, that's the direction I think that they'll be going. For Romney and Ryan, they must do like Ryan did last night. Hold your own and let the other side overplay their hand.
What did you think about last night's moderator, Martha Raddatz?
She tipped her hand to Biden. Some of the questions that she put to Ryan, she wanted to put him on the spot, and there was only one question where she put Biden on the spot.
And that was on the Libya situation.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dr. Charles Dunn, it's always great to get your insights and things like. We'll look forward to talking to you after the next debate.
Thanks
for being with us.